Good evening, friends. Delhi Public School Bhopal welcomes you once again. Good evening. Delhi Public School Bhopal welcomes you on Facebook Live. Friends, it is now more than a year we are in touch with you from the platform of Facebook Live, and we are trying not to miss out a single opportunity to share our learnings, to share our joy, to share our achievements, so that you feel connected with us. This is called a hybrid time. We are halfway on the online platform and we are halfway on the offline platform. We are trying to meet each other, we are trying to see each other, and that is how the back to society, the normal society is there. However, we are very much thankful to you for being connected with us regularly over here on Delhi Public School Bhopal Facebook Live. And today we are here to share our joy, our achievements, and especially in the presence of our principal, Mr. Surinder Sachdeva sir. As you know, this is a topper's talk. Toppers of Delhi Public School. Well, it is not a new phenomenon. It is not a new. We have a history. We are having toppers across all the subjects, all the faculties since many, many years under the dynamic leadership of Mr. Surendra Pal Sateva, our principal sir. Toppers are ruling the city, and Delhi Public School Bhopal toppers, they rule the country, they rule the world. Wherever they go, if they are called dipsites, they feel proud. And more so, if they are the toppers of the subject of the school, of the city, then they have got many, many more things to share. We normally try that we would like to interact with our students, our parents, our teachers, our staff members, so that they can get connected with our toppers. So thankfully, we have got all the toppers of streams, class 12 and class 10 topper. We have got Vedika Khanna, we have got Divya Kedia, we have got Kushi Botra, who are science, commerce, and humanities toppers, and we have got Rishika Maheshwari, class 10 topper with us, and of course our own beloved principal sir, Mr. Surendra Pal Satyeva. So not taking much more your time, my friends who are there on Facebook, thank you very much for joining here, Toppers Talk, and here we start the emotional round of talk, how our students and how our school feels about being a top and always on top of the academics. So my first question goes to Khushi Bothra. What do you feel about being a topper in the school in your subject, and what are your feelings?
I feel extremely happy that I have achieved this result, and it took a little bit of time and a little bit more of calls to finally sink in this feeling that yes, this is my result. And I think it was also very different experience because it was at this moment I realized my school life is finally over. I'm never going back to school again. So I'm happy. And I'm also sad that I'll have to leave this wonderful school.
Oh, yes, there is a happiness and there is a sad part also. But anyway, Dia, what is your feeling? See, the smile on your face tells many more things, but you can express your feeling. How do you feel about achieving such a good score in your class 12?
Initially, I was extremely overwhelmed with emotions, but it soon settled down and I realized how much importance it holds in my life. It also felt extremely surreal, but I'm happy that I could achieve so much with the constant support, guidance of my friends, family, and the school.
Fantastic, fantastic. And now we have got humanities topper Vidika Khanna. What are your feelings about being a top student in the school this year, and what would you like to share with us?
Initially, I was really surprised. I didn't expect to be declared as the topper, but then I was really glad that I was able to do my parents and teachers proud because it wasn't just my effort, it was the effort of a lot of people that went into me giving my exams and appearing for class 12th. So I'm very grateful that I was able to do that.
And we have got now class 10 topper also. So see such a good combination. We have got class 12 and class 10 topper also. So all the toppers. So Rishika Maheshwari, after Vedika, it is your turn. And you have your seniors also with you who are also toppers in class 12. And that may be your future also. We would like to see you once again in Facebook Live after 2 years being a topper in class 12 under the aegis of Delhi Public School Bhopal. So anyway, Rishika, what is your feeling? What is your emotions?
So I was eagerly waiting for my 10th result because, 10th is considered such a big milestone in any student's life. So even though the boards did not actually happen, our school created an exam atmosphere that mirrored to that of boards. So I was very excited. And when I got to know my results, I was overwhelmed, happy, and elated, mixed emotions actually. And I think I could have scored even better in the actual boards, but unfortunately, they did not happen. But knowledge that we acquire never goes wasted. So it's all good.
Fantastic, fantastic. And now my question to Principal Sir is, Sir, what is your feeling being on top every year and you are breaking your own records, whether it is pandemic time, whether it is a normal time, your students are always ruling the city. What are your feelings, sir?
Thank you, Mesh. Records are meant to be broken, and records are broken by all my kids year on year. So first of all, let me acknowledge the hard work of students, and they have really performed very well in this very unusual and unprecedented year. I think credit goes to students. We were very confused because the kind of statements were coming. There can be exam, there cannot be any exam, and exams are postponed. So there was a lot of stress among all the kids. And during those stressful moments, keeping them together and keep motivating them was the key on the part of DPS Bhopal. And I think we did very, very well. And I must tell you that students, they adopted the new system wholeheartedly and worked exceptionally well throughout the year. And I must tell that all this work has been done against all odds. So we are very proud of them. I am feeling very proud. School is feeling very proud. Each and every teacher is very happy for this successful result of grade 10 and grade 12 at DPS Bhopal.
Great, great, great. Thank you very much, sir, for always encouraging and motivating us. And you have shared the credit with all the students' hard work. So students, this is what we have to learn: the real life after school or maybe after college. These are the human qualities which we have to understand and we have to learn from our principal, sir, that how to share credit and how to motivate each other. So anyway, let me ask you one technical question. What was the pressure you felt during this typical COVID time? Because it was online education and lots of uncertainties were there. What was the pressure, Khushi, if you can share first?
I think because of the online learning, there was a lot of lack of concentration and the sources of distractions were many. So even though we had adapted to the online learning, everybody around us, they had not. So there was that gap which we had to deal with. Also, after a point of time, things becomes monotonous. So you keep doing the same thing in the same place, and it's almost like the days gets blurred, and that can be mentally challenging at times. But it is important that we acknowledge those challenges, and after acknowledging them, we have to let those feelings out. And because we do get affected by what is happening around us, we cannot expect ourselves to be robots and work all the time. So that does happen. We feel low. At that time, it's important we talk with our parents, our friends, and our teachers. So that
Great.
was
So
a
here
problem
was
we
a
had.
sharing from Khushi Bothra, who is a science topper, and my same question goes to Dia as a commerce topper. What were your pressure areas you dealt with?
I think pandemic did pose a lot of challenges, which at a certain point of time seemed very unlikely to overcome. But with the right guidance and support, I think everything goes fine. Since all of us were just confined to the four walls of our room, it was extremely difficult for us to adapt to the teaching culture. There was a constant lack of motivation and even focus. Even though we had a lot of time on our hands, we weren't able to manage it properly. But I guess time teaches us everything. Moreover, seeing my teachers take so many efforts is what really encouraged me to work hard and get through it.
Correct. So thank you very much for your sharing. And Vedika, what are your feelings? What was the pressure you took and overcome also?
And there were times where it became extremely overwhelming, the fact that we weren't going to school and the fact that we had to still study, and we thought we were appearing for our exams. So there was a lot of stress at times. But then it became easier to get through that when I spoke to my teachers and parents, because they when they needed to push me, they pushed me, and when they needed to tell me to slow down, they told me that, and that really helped. And I really agree with what Dia said. I think looking at our teachers was a great source of motivation, because I know a lot of teachers who went through so much during this time, and that did not reflect one bit in the classroom. They were still there, they were still teaching us, and they were still putting in their 100% to help us. So that was one great factor in encouraging us to do our best. And also, once in a while, I think it's very important for us to put things into perspective and actually be very mindful of what we are doing and what is happening, and not give in to the stress that we create for ourselves.
Great, great, great. Thank you very much. And Rishika, what were your pressure being in class 10, and how did you deal with it?
So I agree with whatever has been said before. Being trapped in these four walls and staring at a screen for almost 4 or 5 hours a day, and all the exhaustion that comes with it is very taxing. And also, people used to feel down and alone because everything that was happening was really cruel and bad. And the lack of physical socializing also affected a lot. But again, we were able to adapt to it, through digital means, staying connected to our friends and our teachers. And also, I remember I felt a lot of pressure just before the offline pre boards, because for 1.5 years we were giving online exams, and suddenly we had to appear for a full course exam. But I was pretty confident in my efforts and preparation, so I think I pulled through. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Principal sir, I would like to ask you. I asked the same question to all these four students. I asked them the question about pressure. What did they feel, and what was the outcome of it? I guess the answer or the crux of their answer is they could not feel pressure, but they were finding the solution of it, and they taken it positively. So I'm sure this is because of the inputs, because of the planning, because of the timetable, because of your guidance to the teachers, which has reached to the students, so that they can feel comfortable into the stress time. So what were those extra steps school has taken to take care about these students, sir?
So very important that somebody has said very rightly that students, when they saw teachers working very hard round the clock, that is also a motivational factor. Pressures, stresses, yes, they were there, let me tell you. It would be wrong to say or suggest that, kids were not under stress. We did a lot. Teachers were calling, they were speaking to kids round the clock, they were available. We conducted very regular, continuous, comprehensive tests, so that small units, because once we conduct small units of test, children, they feel motivated. How they feel motivated? For example, if they have completed, let us say 10% of syllabus, and we have tested, child feels that 10% is over, then I have to focus on 90%. Similarly, next time another 10%, next time another 10%. So we had broken the syllabus into small parts in such a way that there was some kind of completion. So therefore, instead of expecting one examination end of the year, they were expecting one examination almost every month. So therefore, there was no stress on the academics. Only stress was that when these exams are going to happen. Because, end of the day, everyone needs closure. If I have worked hard throughout the year, what is going to be the end? And what else? The beautiful end. Only unlucky I am that I can invite only 4 kids on this platform. Actually, we have, I would say, 400 toppers. There are 400 students out of 800 who have achieved and secured more than 90%.
Fantastic.
I believe that this pandemic year taught us a lot of lessons. And the most important one is that we have to be prepared for any kind of eventuality. Stresses are of yesterday. Pressures are of yesterday. Today we are feeling great. So this is another lesson for life. Yes, stresses, pressures will come, but after some time, we can just laugh at it.
Very good, very good. Rightly said, sir. Thank you very much. And students, let me tell you, principal sir was very much confident since the day one. We have means he was always telling to his team what I have heard and what I have been told, and even to me also when we work together that don't worry, our students will do good. So, sir, I would like to ask you this question: that how can you build up so much confidence on students from day one, though it was a stressful time? What kind of micro planning, what kind of say care was taken care, extra care was taken care for the students before the exams also?
I believe that exam is just an outcome, right? We do not prepare for the examination. And I'm telling all the kids, those who are listening, do not prepare yourself for the examination, but prepare for the learning. If learning is happening round the clock, exams or no exams, continuous exams or one exam, exams in different parts of grade 9, 10, 11, 12, or maybe together one annual exam of one class, doesn't matter. What is important is learning is important. If you have learned well, if you have understood your concepts well, I think, let me tell you about these 4 kids, those who are here, Khushi, Rishika, Vedika, and Dia. I was not surprised after hearing their name. I knew these all 4 kids are very, very regular in their studies. Right? We have seen all these kids. The same toppers were in grade 10 also. Right? They are performing continuously for last 4 or 5 years. No surprises. Actually, very, very well structured syllabus, very, very well structured lesson plans. That is what is helping each and every child. So there is never any pressure of the examination, but yes, pressure or stresses were due to pandemic.
Thank you very much, sir. So here are the sharings and motivation from principal, sir. So Khushi, I would like to ask you that what was that one thing which you have say your learning of this pandemic time and the achievement has come to you? What is that one line or one experience you would like to share?
I think we should consistently work hard from day one. We cannot put our tasks on the back burner. We have to keep working and we have to give our best in the moment instead of worrying about the future, because our world can be turned upside down in a moment. We will never know. The uncertainty taught us that instead of planning for the future, we need to give our absolute best in the present regularly from the day one, instead of just thinking that we could do it in the future. That's, you don't know what the future will hold for you.
Correct. So what are your sharings, Dia?
Actually, I completely agree with Khushi. She said about consistency. I believe in that too, along with hard work. I feel if you keep working for something, the destination will become closer. And it doesn't work if you think that you will work in the last 30 days and you'll be able to score well. It is very important to work throughout the time. I think this was pretty much visible throughout the pandemic that we kept working and these marks were considered instead of our board exam results. So I think the goal becomes more achievable, but it also eases the process of scoring well.
Correct, correct. And Vedika, what are your learnings and sharing for this? And I believe you wanted to share something about school, so maybe you can share it right now.
Okay. Actually, I agree with what Khushi and Dia said. That is absolutely a given. Consistency is a must. But apart from that, I think that something that's really important is being mindful of how you're working and what works for you, what methods work for you, how your environments work for you. So being mindful is really important. That's what I've learned during the pandemic, actually evaluating my strengths and weaknesses and working accordingly. So that's one thing apart from consistency that matters. Do you want me to share that now?
Yes, yes, please share it. Please share it.
Okay. I've actually written something for school, so I'd like to read that out. Dear DPS, this may sound dramatic, but it's true. When I stepped into campus 2 years ago, something drew me to the place. It didn't take me very long to fall in love with the campus, the teachers, the staff, the people, and I realized that it was all of this intertwined with the strands of time that has made this school so dear to me. Dear DPS, I have loved every minute I've spent flitting through your warm red brick walls. My heart has experienced much delight while languidly walking through the library during summers and roaming the grounds during winter. Many a flower, many a bird that found shelter on campus has brought me the joy of spring. If I could, I would make the art room my home. If I could, I'd spend all the years to come within the safe embrace of your walls. Your teachers have been my pillars and have cared for me 100 times more than I could have asked for. Dear DPS, I keep complaining to anyone that cares to listen that I miss school. I want to go back. I want to be a child forever. It is true that I haven't spent nearly enough time at school, but whatever time I've spent here will stay with me for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Very, very nice sharing. And Rishika, what do you want to share about your challenges and learnings during this particular time?
First, I would like to applaud and appreciate Vedika for such a beautiful poem. It sums up everything about school life. Yeah, so my take on the question was that being adaptable and also being consistent and evaluating your skills and concentration power is what matters. No matter how many hours you devote in a day, like 3, 4, 5, anything, the amount you grasp in and soak in is what matters. And also that we should be, susceptible to change. Whatever is thrown at us, we should be, we should calculate whatever we want to change about it and then solve the problem.
Great. Thank you very much. So, Principal Sir, I would like to ask you a question: that how do you make sure that students focuses remains in the academics as well as overall personality development? Though it was a COVID time, pandemic time, they were at home, they were in touch with us, and how are they being taught to manage the time and focus the academics also?
Yes, we had great concerns that kids are at home. They are actually caged. It was very difficult for us to manage that. Kids are studying around the globe. Some kind of physical activities are required. Here, our sports department came very, very handy. I know there are schools in the city who actually did not need sports teacher because they felt during pandemic there is no physical activity. But our sports department worked so hard. They posted very good physical activities videos, and there are few teachers who did some kind of live webinar with the students while doing some kind of activity indoor, like different kind of strains which can happen in health and physical education. So this is what altogether we were doing in physical activities. But more than that, some kind of talks were happening, emotional talks, counselors talk, and parents talk. So such kind of talks were helping all these kids to be motivated and be in touch with others. We said we are not socially distancing. We are physically distancing, but socially connected. Yes, during this pandemic, all the kids were socially connected, physically distancing.
Thank you so much. So, students, here is a background script which you would have not known that this is how Principal Sir had designed the entire year for you, how he will ensure that each and every student in the school gets mental, physical, emotional, and academic orientation, support, and motivation so that you all be happy and learn the things happily and appear the exam, which is a learning part and not an examination part, as rightly said by Principal Sir. So, sir, thank you very much for such a deep insight, and I'm sure the students will now understand what, as what they have absorbed it from the school. So, so Khushi, did you feel any of this part? And what is that one point you can say that I was never stressed or I was never depressed, though it was a pandemic time or a COVID time or I was at home, I didn't felt it. What was that particular time? So, which actual credit goes to the team DPS under the leadership of Principal Sir.
I think we were depressed, we were sad, but the fact that teachers were always there, the amount of faith they have put in us, like they believed more in us than we believed in ourselves. I think that is what really, really helped. Plus, we had online classes from day one. So, though initially online classes had begun as something different and new than usual, then it became a little frustrating. But now that we look back at that time, that actually helped us, those online classes, those interaction that really, really helped us to have that shred of normalcy, to be socially connected. And it was really amazing what the school has done for us, because we always had that communication channel open for us. So we were never really alone in that sense. So I'm so thankful to the school for doing that.
Fantastic. So here is a Khushi Bothra, who is a science topper, sharing her experience about what did she felt. And my question same goes to Diya Kedia, for she's a commerce topper. What did you feel? Now you have gone through the Principal Sir's insight. Did you actually feel depressed, or how you overcome that situation and how?
Initially, yeah, I, like everyone, even I felt depressed, but I feel that it was due to constant support that I was able to overcome it. Despite the challenging circumstances that prevailed this year, the faculty really took efforts to actualize the concepts of every subject and took appropriate measures to ensure that our education isn't hampered by the virtue of pandemic. I think it was quite fruitful. Even the webinars and everything, it kept us engaged and working on something or the other, where we could configure our strengths and weaknesses, and we were truly able to step out into the real world with a new built confidence.
Great. And Vedika, what do you feel about this?
Yeah, I think every effort that Sir and the team has put in showed. Every effort of every teacher has absolutely came through in the classes. And what we lost in the fact that we weren't at school, we made up for in closeness, because during classes, apart from our academics, our teachers would always, have a word with us, otherwise ask us about our well-beings. They were very concerned about how our situations were at home. So that connect also kept us going. And that was one thing that made me feel that, it's okay that we aren't at school. At least we are together and we're able to talk it out. So that was something that was really, that effort really showed. And I'm very, very grateful for that.
Great. And Rishika, what is your feeling?
So at first it was a very confusing, eerie and unusual atmosphere. But with the help of our teachers and our faculty, we were able to get through this. I could notice the religious efforts of every teacher shining through. And I actually noticed that the methods and quality of education actually got better because of the addition of digital tools. We could have extra doubt sessions and even all the perks of having online education. I'm thankful for the school. Yeah.
Great, great. Let me ask one simple and normal question, not about this part. But sir, I would like to start it with from you. What is your best memorable moment about this COVID time or pandemic time, online education, offline education, but some memorable moment with the students?
So first, with the school, I must tell all these kids, those are here, 10th and 12th especially, pandemic was declared on 22nd of March by the Prime Minister of India. And we went online on 15th of March, 2020. This is what we planned in advance.
Correct.
I think whole India was surprised when we informed that we have started online classes on 15th of March. People did start after summer vacations. I must tell you, all the schools and teachers, they have been struggling to adopt online based solution for instruction. But yes, Team DPS Bhopal, teachers, IT department especially, they rose to the standards and they help each and every teacher and students to perform very good in online educations. But one thing I must appreciate, one very important segment, the parents. Parents came forward. I think they were the true COVID warriors. They had to manage their working from home schedule. They had to manage their children's education online. At the same time, keeping them motivated, they supported us very well. Let me say big thank you to all the parents of DPS Bhopal. Without you, we would not have achieved the result we have achieved. Thank you very much. I think special mention goes to my all the parents.
Yes, thank you, sir. Parents are the backbone of the school, and they supported your initiative. We were the first school in the region, probably in the country. We would have been in the top 5 who had started the online education, as it was a demand of that particular time. And planning such a thing in advance and visualizing such a things in advance is what Sachdeva sir's traits are. That we will think what we cannot think for tomorrow, and he will direct us to that particular area where we have to be safe, and we have to be successful, we have to be strong, and we have to support each other. So sir, I would like to ask you that in between there was a second wave, the first wave, lots of emotional stress, social stress was there. How did you manage the team, and that team positively, how did they manage to reach out to the students in spite of having so much uncertain situation?
The second wave was very, very brutal. Actually, we were not expecting that kind of situation in India. And to be very honest, my staff, my teachers, many parents, they were very disturbed and things were going out of control. But one thing we did, that we continued motivating the children at that particular time, because exams are already postponed, and we knew that the postponed exams can be cancelled also. Therefore, just before the second wave, we had conducted all the examination, online as well as offline. Why online? Because we felt that online practice is required. Why offline? Maybe if there is no second wave, quite possible that if we can make it to CBSE board examination, in that case, that could have helped us as a practice. But unfortunately, you know what has happened after second wave. So the online examination and throughout the year comprehensive evaluation has helped us to secure good marks for each and every child.
Thank you, sir. And so students, some light question to you. What is your fun moment you remember about school? You are missing something about school. You can start. Let me start now with Rishika.
So this is a bad news that I'm sharing, but I'm going to leave the school because I've been transferred to Pune. And looking back, these 4 years have been the best 4 years of my life. And I thank my school for this. You know, from the small fights and drama to everyday canteen trips, I would remember everything. And special mentions to the 2 trips that I went to, Statue of Unity and Magica. I made the best memories there. And I'm really thankful for my school, and I will miss it a lot.
Yes, we will be also missing you, but do come to school as in when you come back to the city, and do visit us. So Vedika, what are your fun moments? What would you like to share your fun moments or your special memories?
Yeah, I think looking back now, especially because we missed an entire year at school, every day had something special, and every day I remember something different that I miss about school. My favorite moments were in the art room, and generally being on campus. I loved every minute of it. But one special thing that stands out is my trip to Polo Forest. I think we went in November 2019. That was especially fun. And yeah, so these are a few of the memories that I have and I will always cherish.
Perfect. And Dia, what are your moments?
I think words cannot describe how much all of us miss school right now. We were just hoping that we could enjoy the last year of our school, but nevertheless, I loved going to canteen every day, just running out of the classes as soon as the bell rings, going to the grounds and playing and just fighting for the ball, fighting with the students, with the classmates over little things, and just sitting on those swings and benches was just meant everything when you think about it right now. So that is what I miss about school.
Yes, and खुशी आप क्या बताना चाहेंगे?
Every single moment seems so magical in the physical school now. I don't think even after going to college we can totally register that now we are not in school anymore. We really cannot like imagine not going back to school, not wearing these uniforms. Particularly since we had white uniforms, so we would splash a lot of things on it, from inks to chocolate milkshake to everything. We would completely ruin our uniforms all the time, all the dances that we used to do in the middle of our two periods, and all those trips to library. I absolutely enjoyed being at the library, not just for the books, even for the teachers that were there. And it was like we would spend a lot of time there at the library. Even the mic we couldn't mute during our online classes and the videos we couldn't turn off. That was quite a moment too. So all of it is going to be terribly missed. And we so enjoyed being at the school.
Great. I'm sure this time will come once again, though you will be going ahead in your future academic careers, but do come to the school campus as and when you find the time. Principal sir, I would like to ask you a question. What is your advice? Because right now also it is a hybrid situation. Half of the things are online, half of the things are offline. What do you visualize for the future, and particularly for this year, the students who are in class 10 or who will be in class 12, what will be your advice to them?
So I think this pandemic, it has taught us many lessons. So the plan of the school is that even in future, whether there is a pandemic or no pandemic, we are going to have hybrid kind of education. Whether there is no issue or no rainy season or any other issues, we are going to have at least one day for whole school online education. So what our plans are? Our plans are 75%, 25%. So 75% offline, 25% online. This is what we are planning for this upcoming year. So if schools are opening soon, we have started calling the student to the school. I'm not sure if there is any third wave or not, but I hope there is no third wave. But even if there is no third wave and we are all safe and fine, still we are going to continue online education for sure. This is my plan for the future, number one. Number two, dear kids, academic exam is just one part, one lesson. You will learn only mathematics or computer science, or maybe physics a bit, chemistry a bit, but there are life lessons. Life lessons are taught by the situations which are created by the God. So I must tell you, this pandemic has created a big teaching and learning for everyone. I call it VUCA word, very, very volatile, uncertain, right? Very complex. Therefore, very and uncertain, very important that we must learn the lesson of the life, and whatever comes in life, we must take in the right stride and use this learning for future. Tomorrow again, when you are going to be in university, when you are going to work for this nation to make this nation great, I'm sure whatever you have learned today may not be helping, but you must know what to unlearn and then new learn, right? Probably your attitude is going to help you that how to create yourself in such a way that whatever the situations are, you bring something new, something very, very creative. That should be the true lesson of schooling, not the ordinary subjects, academic subjects.
Great, thank you very much, sir. And so is now a couple of last questions to the students. Khushi, what are your future plans?
I wish to be an engineer and I want to study computer science in future, and my college entrance exams are still left, so I'm preparing for that. And I really hope I'll get into a good college.
You will 100% get it. Wish you good luck. And Diya, what are your future plans?
I want to pursue actuarial science as a career. It is basically a risk analysis course and involves subjects like mathematics and statistics. It is something that I really gravitate towards and enjoy studying.
And Vedika?
So I'm going to do a liberal arts degree with a major in English because the English language fascinates me, and I also write. So I think that'll be helpful. I've written a book this year. So yeah, I'm going to do English, and I also in a liberal arts degree you can choose more than one subject to study. So I'm very excited at the variety of subjects that I can choose and learn even in college.
Great. And Rishika, what are your future plans? Of course, you shared that you will be shifting to Pune, but then in academics, how and what way you would like to go?
Yeah, so in the early months of 10th, I was oscillating between taking PCM, PCB, and even commerce. But as I went through time, my interest solidified, and now I've taken PCM. And I want to get an engineering degree from a reputed institute like an IIT. And I'm really fascinated by management studies, so I'll do MBA from abroad. And I would appreciate some tips from the 12th toppers as well.
Yes. They are here right with you. And of course, you all can be in touch with each other as and when you can find an opportunity. So the last question, I'll ask once again to Khushi, and then we will sum up with the principal sir's last message for the students. So Khushi, what are your advice or your tips for the students who will be appearing board or who are the students of this year?
I think just do not follow what others are doing, because what works best for you might not work the best for somebody else. So just copying others is not the solution. And also, it is fine if you are confused at this point. Whatever standard we are in right now, could be 10th, 11th, 12th, or any standard. It is okay to be confused. It's okay if you haven't planned the future, because especially during these times, we know that whatever we plan might not happen that way actually. So it's totally okay to be confused. Nobody has everything figured it out. And confusion means possibilities. If you are ending that confusion, you're limiting your possibilities. So don't do that. Enjoy the chaos you are in right now. You will find solutions as you move forward.
Great. Confusions are a part of possibility. Thank you very much. Dia, what is your message to the students?
I think one of the things that I would like to stress upon is that always maintain a healthy balance between academics and extracurriculars, and also be consistent in your records. Don't let it be affected by any superficial things. And also that every day is a new beginning and giving up is never an option. Future always holds something beautiful for all of us. So just have faith in yourself and you'll be able to do wonders.
Great. Vedika, what is your message to the students?
I think one thing that's really important in terms of academics is paying attention during class. I've seen a lot of people who think that it's okay not to listen in class and study themselves later. But something that really helped me was listening in class. That's very important. And apart from that, like Dia said, every day is a new day. Tackle your tasks one day at a time. Don't become overwhelmed with everything at once. Manage your time well, realize and understand what works for you, and just put in your 100% for yourself. Don't work for anyone else, just do it for yourself.
Just do it for yourself. And Rishika, what is your advice to the younger ones?
So believe in yourself. You know, it might seem like a cliche, but it simply means that sit back and let your efforts do the talking. Be confident and never second guess. Overthinking eats you up, seriously. And that's all, I guess, because this line, believing in yourself, sums up almost everything that you do. Yeah.
Exactly. And there are lots of teachers who are here wishing you good luck. Uma ma'am is there, Preetha ma'am is there, Parthiv Dave is there, Bhavna Shukla, Poonam Thappiyal ma'am, Tejal Vyas ma'am. Lots of teachers are all wishing you good luck for your future and for your and they are also inviting you at school as and when you find the time. So everybody over there on a Facebook Live, I'm thankful to you for joining us on Facebook Live. Sangeeta Hinduja ma'am is also there, very well said. She is sharing. Veena Mathur ma'am, Preeta ma'am, everybody, thank you very much. And here we come to an end. Of course, it's the every end is a new beginning. So I would like to ask a question to sir. It is not an ending question, but a new beginning question. what is your advice to the students of this year and for the future? How should they see themselves as a future citizen of India?
I have advice not only for my students, I have advice for you, I have advice for my teachers, and I have advice for the parents.
Yes,
Please remember 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule. Right? 8 hours for mind, 8 hours for heart, and 8 hours for hand. So you have to work very, very hard for 8 years and sleep 8 hours. But yes, remaining 8 hours, you have to live for your life, your own sake, for your family, for happiness. So this balance you have to maintain in future. Only then you would be a true citizen and you would be very, very healthy and confident, and you will learn the life skills. Do not compromise with your happiness and leisure time, right? That is also very, very important. And I have one more message again, that yes, school is teaching you many lessons, but there are many lessons you are going to learn outside the school. Do not forget that and do not give less importance. Thank you so very much. Wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. All the toppers, you have done great. You have made us feel proud, and I'm sure you're going to make your family proud in future too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and being with us, with the students and with the students who are watching you on Facebook, with the parents and staff members. And I'm sure this link will be there on Facebook and they will be watching us in future also. And your advice 888 is learning for me also. By that, we will sign off right now. Thank you very much, students, for joining. Thank you, Facebook friends, and all who are watching us right now live. Good luck to all the students. Be in touch with the school, with the teachers, with the management, and do come to school as and when you find an opportunity and meet the new sides of the new year. Thank you very much. Let us all say Yali Ho and we wind up our session. So Yali Ho for all the great future for all of us.
Yali ho.
Yali.
Yali ho.
Thank you very much.